3 hidden DVLA rule shocks hit UK drivers this week. Massive fines, license traps, and new checks. This week, UK roads are changing forever. 3 shocking new DVLA rules just dropped, and thousands of drivers are already being caught off guard. From $1,000 fines for simple plate errors to stricter license renewals and surprise medical checks, the DVLA isn't playing around. If you drive in Britain, you need to hear this before you get stopped, fined, or banned. Stay tuned. What you're about to learn could save your license, your money, and your peace of mind. Before starting the video, seniors, please my request to you is to subscribe to my channel, like it, share the channel as much as possible, and send my channel link to your retired and pensioner brothers so that they also subscribe to my channel and support me. Please, I need your support very much. Please, seniors, subscribe to my channel. I promise all my senior brothers and sisters and pensioner brothers and sisters, and especially my retired brothers, that you will always get true news on my channel. In the end, I want to say a heartfelt thank you for your support. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing great and staying safe out there on the roads. If you're new here, my name is your name, and this channel is all about the latest driving updates, motoring news, DVLA changes, and everything that affects drivers across the UK. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell, because today's update is one you absolutely cannot afford to miss. 3 brand new DVLA rules have just hit UK drivers this week, and believe me, if you're not aware of them, you could easily get fined, lose your license, or even invalidate your insurance without realizing. These changes are already in effect, so let's break everything down in a clear and simple way, and I'll tell you exactly what you need to do to stay safe, legal, and one step ahead. So, here's what's happening. The DVLA has officially rolled out new enforcement measures targeting number plates, driving license renewals, and medical declarations. And on top of that, there's a major change in the way learner drivers can change or cancel their tests. And yes, all of this has started this very week. It's part of a much bigger shakeup of road safety standards and compliance rules across the UK. Authorities are becoming stricter with vehicle identity, driver health, and testing reliability. And it's catching a lot of people off guard. So, if you're a driver in the UK, no matter your age, the kind of car you drive, or how long you've held your license, these updates affect you directly. Let's start with what's happening on number plates and license renewals. The DVLA has been warning for months that they're tightening up the rules, but now they've actually started to enforce them more aggressively. Basically, if your car's number plates are cracked, faded, dirty, wrongly spaced, or displaying any illegal font, you can be fined up to £1,000. That's right, £1,000, just for something as simple as a misaligned space or worn out plate. The reason for this clampdown is that there's been a rise in cloned plates, fake registrations, and unreadable numbers, all of which make it harder for enforcement cameras to identify vehicles. Now the DVLA, along with the police and local authorities, are cross-referencing plate recognition cameras with the national database. So if your plate doesn't scan properly, you could end up getting pulled over even if you've done nothing else wrong. But it's not just about number plates. Another important part of this change focuses on license renewals, especially for drivers over the age of 62. The government has officially shortened the renewal cycle for older drivers, meaning that instead of renewing every 10 years, you may now be required to renew more frequently, in some cases every 5 years. And along with this renewal comes a stronger emphasis on medical and vision checks. The DVLA and the Department for Transport have both said they're doing this to improve road safety as the UK's driving population gets older. It's no secret that more and more people are driving well into their 70s and 80s, which is great, but it also means there are more drivers on the road with potential vision, mobility, or reaction time issues. If you think that doesn't affect you, think again. Because one of the big takeaways from the latest report is that the UK currently relies almost entirely on self-declaration for vision and health conditions. That means it's up to drivers themselves to tell the DVLA if they've developed any condition that could affect their ability to drive safely. The scary part? The system's been labeled ineffective and unsafe by an official inquest earlier this year. So now, there's a big push for more medical oversight and for drivers to be more proactive about declaring health changes. If you have something like diabetes, glaucoma, epilepsy, heart issues, or any other condition that could impact your driving, you must inform the DVLA. If you don't, and you get into an accident, your insurance could be invalid. and that means you could be held personally liable for damages or injury. It's a serious risk, and most drivers don't even realize how easily they could fall foul of the rules. So what should you do right now? First, grab your wallet and check your driving license. Look at the expiry date printed on the front. If it's approaching soon, start the renewal process immediately. Don't wait for the reminder letter. Sometimes those are delayed, and if your license expires, you're not legally allowed to drive, even if you've applied late. Second, take a good look at your car's number plates. Make sure the letters and numbers are clean, properly spaced, and in the correct legal font. The plates must also be reflective, not tinted, cracked, or bent. If there's any doubt, replace them. It's cheap to do, and it's much better than risking a fine or MOT failure. And third, if you have any medical conditions, go to the DVLA website and see if they're listed as notifiable. If they are, fill out the appropriate form and send it in. It's better to be transparent and safe than to risk a ban or a penalty later. Now let's talk about another huge change, the one affecting learner drivers and people booking their driving tests. From this week, anyone who wants to change or cancel their car driving test without losing their fee must now give at least 10 full working days notice. Previously, you only needed 3 days. This might sound small, but it's actually a massive shift in how the DVSA, which works alongside the DVLA, is managing test bookings. The reason behind this change is that thousands of people were canceling their tests at the last minute or simply not showing up, and that meant long waiting lists and wasted slots. With this new rule, the agency hopes to reduce waiting times and make the entire system fairer for everyone. But here's the catch. If you forget or cancel too late, you lose your test fee entirely. No refund, no exceptions. You'll then have to rebook, and with waiting times already averaging 12 to 14 weeks in some areas, that can really set you back. So if you're a learner driver or you know someone who is, tell them to plan carefully. Double check your calendar, make sure you're truly ready, and only book a test date you can commit to. If you have to change it, do it early, at least 2 weeks in advance. Also, make sure your provisional license, your theory test results, and all other documents are in order. There's nothing worse than showing up for your test and realizing your paperwork has expired or your details don't match. Every year, thousands of test slots are wasted because of small administrative errors like that. And now, under these stricter rules, there's less room for flexibility. It's all about accountability and efficiency. All of these updates, from number plates to license renewals, health declarations, and learner driver policies, are part of a broader move by the UK government and the DVLA to modernize the driving system. The roads are busier, cars are faster, technology is more advanced, and with electric vehicles, modified classics, and autonomous tech coming into play, the DVLA has to adapt. In fact, one of the smaller but significant policy updates announced earlier this year involves the registration of restored and electric converted vehicles. Classic car owners who restore vehicles to their original specification no longer need to notify the DVLA of every minor change. But if they modify the structure or convert it to electric, they must report it to keep their registration valid. It's a sign that the DVLA is moving toward more transparent and digital processes, but also holding drivers accountable for accurate reporting. Now, some people might see all this as just more bureaucracy, more rules, more paperwork, more fines. But the truth is, it's about safety and clarity. Think about it. Clear number plates make it easier to identify vehicles in case of accidents or crimes. Updated medical rules mean fewer unsafe drivers on the road, and stricter test policies mean better prepared new drivers. The authorities are tightening the rules not to make life harder for us, but to make roads safer for everyone. That being said, it's still frustrating when you get caught out by a detail you didn't know about. So staying informed, watching videos like this, can actually save you from major headaches down the line. Let's talk about the consequences if you ignore these updates. First off, the fines are no joke. As I said earlier, an illegal or unreadable number plate can get you a £1,000 fine. Driving with an expired license or failing to renew after the deadline can land you in serious trouble. And that includes invalidating your car insurance. And if you haven't declared a notifiable medical condition and you're involved in an accident, your insurer can refuse to pay out entirely. That means you're personally responsible for any damage or injury. Even worse, the DVLA can revoke or suspend your license if they believe you're medically unfit to drive. And once that happens, it's a long process to get it back. You might have to reapply, retake your test, or go through medical reviews. For learner drivers, the risks are different, but just as frustrating. If you cancel your test too late, you lose your money. If you show up unprepared or without the right documents, you're sent home and have to rebook. And if you repeatedly miss appointments, your local test center might flag your account for abuse of booking privileges. These might seem harsh, but again, it's all about cutting down on wasted time and ensuring people take the process seriously. So, what can you do to stay safe and compliant right now? Start with a full mini audit of your driving essentials. Check your license expiry date, look at your number plates and see if they're clean, correctly formatted, and damage-free. Go to an optician and get a quick eye test. It only takes 10 minutes, but gives you peace of mind. Review your insurance policy and make sure everything matches your current details, including address, license number, and medical status. If you're over 60, mark your calendar for when your next renewal is due. If you're learning to drive, plan your test early and stick to it. And if you've modified your car in any way, maybe new lights, bodywork, or an EV conversion, make sure you know whether you need to inform the DVLA. Now, I know that's a lot to take in, but staying on top of these things means you won't be caught out when enforcement cameras or inspectors start checking compliance. The UK's motoring system is becoming increasingly digital and connected, which means mistakes are harder to hide. Automated number plate recognition, online license databases, and shared insurer data mean that even small oversights can trigger a penalty letter or a fine without warning. But on the flip side, if you keep everything up to date, you'll never have to worry. So, here's the bottom line. Don't wait for a letter from the DVLA or a police officer to tell you something's wrong. Take a proactive approach. Check your plates, check your license, check your health, keep your documents tidy and your car compliant. The best drivers are the ones who stay informed, prepared, and responsible. And that's what we do here on this channel. We stay ahead of the news so you don't have to scramble when the rules suddenly change. If you found this video useful, please take a moment to hit the like button. It really helps this video reach more drivers who might not know about these updates. Leave a comment below and tell me which of these rules surprised you the most. Are you worried about the license renewal changes, or do you think the number plate crackdown is long overdue? I read every comment and reply to as many as I can, so let's start a conversation down there. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel because I've got more updates coming this week, including new details on MOT testing changes, fuel price trends, and possible updates to parking regulations across the UK. Thanks so much for watching. Drive safe, stay smart, and make sure you're always on the right side of the law. I'll see you all in the next video.